All right, we are live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to the Mid Morning Talk Women's Month edition with myself, Umamah Lu. We just completed a conversation with Crystal Zita, who told us all things about her empire that she's building, really, from agriculture to healthcare work to her foundation. She was an absolute powerhouse and told us all things, Crystal. Now, moving on to the next part of our Women Who Heal segment, I am so excited to introduce you to someone whose work is all about connection, community, and sisterhood. Her name is Yasmeen, and she is the founder of the Salwa Collective, a female social group that was born out of her own desire for sisterhood and genuine connection after moving back to the country. And honestly, nothing heals quite like sisterhood and friendship. That feeling of finding your people. Salwa Collective holds all kinds of events every month, with one of the favorites being the SOA Sunday Strolls. A couple of kilometers walking through a park, enjoying snacks, and just being together. They started in Johannesburg but have now expanded to Cape Town with the whole team of incredible women helping to run this powerhouse in both cities. And today we're going to have a cute, girly, fun conversation about it all. Yasmeen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me, and a big hi and welcome to the whole Salwa sisterhood that I know is watching right now.
I hope so.
Um, I hope you guys are watching. We're gonna check the views afterwards. I'm gonna get right into my very first question for you. Right. Again, welcome to the show, and let's start with your story. What inspired you to start Salwa Collective?
Thank you so much again for having me. So, Salwa Collective officially began in May 2024 last year, during my final year of university, where I was going through a really difficult period of feeling really lonely and like I was unable to connect to the people around me. I realized at the time that there are probably a lot of other women who feel the same way, and I never wanted anyone else to ever experience something. So I started SOA, which is a social club for Muslim women in their 20s to come together and connect. We host monthly events and activities for women to come together, connect, share their stories, and feel like they belong. I also do want to mention that a huge part of what I do is inspired by my mom, who is a revert, and she is my biggest role model in everything that I do. As I was growing up, I watched her struggle with that sense of community and belonging, and I honestly think it drives me and fuels me in what I'm doing.
I absolutely love it. Whenever, like, the show has been over the past 3 days, and every time someone mentioned that your mother is the inspiration, I get so happy because
Oh,
I
thank
talk
you.
about my mom every time, and then I get like, you're mentioning her too much, but she has played such a big role in who I am today. Me sitting here on Salam Media and talking and talking and talking was all by my mom. She put me in every speech contest growing up, so I had to, just get into speaking, and that's why I'm here today, and this is why I would say you're here today as well with this
100%.
powerhouse of Salwa Collective. Speaking of Salwa, the name Salwa is so beautiful. Can you tell us the meaning behind it and why you chose it?
I actually love this question because I get it so often to people who come to our events, and a lot of them have asked if that's my name. Unfortunately, not, but the term Salwa is a Quranic term and it relates to the words of comfort and consolation. And I chose it because that's exactly what I wanted the space to be. I wanted it to be a place where women can come and sit and feel that comfort, support, and that sense of belonging. And every time people come to our events, I really hope that they do feel that warmth and reassurance that the name embodies.
I absolutely love that. There's so much thought behind it. And speaking of what you say, Salwa means and what Salwa stands for, we're in our Women's Month, and this segment specifically, that is our Women Who Heal segment, which is all about celebrating women who bring comfort, healing, and strength to others. What does sisterhood mean to you personally?
Sisterhood, to me personally, it is such a big thing. And I think if anyone knows me, they know my sisters. So I grew up with two younger sisters, and it was honestly I've experienced firsthand how powerful that bond can be and how women can truly, truly be each other's biggest supporters, biggest uplifters. Um, and that's really what I hope that this space gives to people, where they can lean on each other, they celebrate each other, and they find that strength and that comfort in that sisterhood and community. Because I really believe that when we as women come together, we can lift each other higher than anyone else can, and it's so important to have them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I asked this similar kind of question to all of my guests over the past 2 days. I mean, you'd know because you watched the show.
Loved
But
it.
I think it is so important, to find different people's perspectives on this particular question and what womanhood means to them, what Women's Month means to them, because you get such different answers. I mean, you can testify that the answers were
Yeah.
so unique and so different. And I feel, me personally, I resonate with you so much because, like you said, your mom is like your everything. My mom is my everything. For me, I have one older sister, and I can't explain. She's like a fragile little thing in my hand. Like, don't
Yeah.
talk about my sister. Like, she means so much to me. And anyone who knows me knows my sister. In every conversation I have, oh, I was telling my sister, I was telling my mom. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to have that connection. And for people that don't have sisters, to come to places like Salwa and to find their sisters there, to find that sisterhood there, because it's such a deep thing, and we don't realize how healing it is. And that's why we have you on this segment. You don't realize how much it does for your heart, just being around people like you, finding connections, whether you are having a sip and paint, whether you're having what coffee and talk, or you're at a Salwa stroll, whatever it is that you're doing, you're healing that inner child in you that didn't have, this sisterhood. My next segment that I kind of want to get into is the events and the growth of Salwa. So, what were the first few Salwa collective events like, and how did women respond?
I love thinking back to how the first few events started because we were so, so small. I do want to admit that I have the biggest imposter syndrome ever. And I truly thought nobody would show up. I was like, it's just going to be me there and no one's going to come. I think we had about 15 girls show up to our first event. And at the time, it felt like a million people. I was honestly in shock and I was so grateful for it because I think it really pushed me to keep going. The months after that were, I think, for me especially, a huge learning curve, especially with trying to get people to step out of these comfort zones and to come to our events and to open themselves up to it as well. But yeah, over time, I'm so grateful. We have grown in such ways that I could have never imagined. This August alone, we will, inshallah, host over 160 different girls at all our events across, which is amazing. I could have never imagined from this tiny little idea that I had in my head to what it is today. It's unbelievable.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I think, yeah, looking back and seeing the growth of something is the best part of it all. In the
100%.
beginning, it's just like, hey, you know what? I don't know if I'm really gonna be, finishing this off. It's not looking a bit too promising. But then you look back and you're like, Alhamdulillah, that I carried this on and I continue doing it, because look at where you are today. To talk about myself a little bit, last year I started, if you want to, I wouldn't say it's my own version of Salwa Collective, but it's like, it's something, right? And I had the same like yearning for sisterhood and connection, mainly in the industry, right? In this journalism industry, in the business world, right? And we hosted, well, I can't even say we, it was all on my own. I don't know how I did. Looking back, I don't know how I did that. I was losing my mind. I hosted the Young Women in Business event, and we had around 40 ladies come, and it was almost like a business summit, but just for like around 2 hours. We had it at a restaurant in Lakefield, and it was so like eye opening, because again, I thought no one's coming. I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna go there and it's just gonna be me and my mom and my cousins, and no one's coming. But then when I stood in front of that crowd and I saw all of these ladies that came for the exact same reason, and when we're having the panel, people were asking questions, people were engaging. I was like, okay, so you guys want to like talk about it, you guys like it. And I feel like there's no other feeling than sitting and looking at something that you created. Like, this is mine. It's like my baby in my hands. um and I will say, I did just act like it didn't happen afterwards, and this entire year I just dropped it and I said, that's too much work, I can't do it. But I'm trying to come back slowly. I'm trying to come back slowly and restart it because I've had so many people ask for it, and I've had so many people want this women in business thing again because we have like the Salwas, these French. I can't call it like a friendship, but it's more casual and stuff. Here we're talking about stats and numbers and algorithms and things like that, and I didn't think it was gonna attract so many people, but it did. So what, I feel how you feel, and it is just the most amazing feeling ever.
Definitely.
um Let us go into our next question, right? Tell me all about Salwa Sunday Strolls. How did that tradition start?
SOA Sunday Strolls is actually one of my favorite events. So it is our monthly 5 kilometer walk, which takes place on the last Sunday of every month. And the idea of it is actually really simple. It's all about movement, connection, and conversation. And I think often we talk about the body as an amana and a trust, and we forget how important that side of it is as well. Um, and I do want to say, especially I think in a South African context, where walking alone isn't as accessible and isn't safe for women. So I think coming together in this group setting is really reclaiming our power and our freedom and confidence. And it's so, so incredible to see these girls chatting and laughing and enjoying each other's company in this sort of environment.
I love that. When I was at the Ashraful Aid event, and one of the Salwa girls was there, Amira was there, and I had like clocked her, and I said, I saw you in, I think the Sip and Pain or something was like the week before or something, and I was like, but I saw you doing an interview. I saw you, and for a while I kind of stood in the corner and I was looking at her, and I was like, I don't know if this is her, and then I went up to her and I was like, are you from Salwa? And she's like, yeah, it is, I am. And we spoke about Salwa stores, and she invited me, but I couldn't make it that Sunday. But I was so like happy to see someone that I saw online, and we spoke all things Salwa and all things Salwa strolls, and I was like, wow, like this is so amazing. And I want to touch on the fact that she said that our bodies and amana, and we forget that our bodies and amana we need to take care of. We need to have movement in our life. We need to do these things, and doing it in a way like this with sisters that are with you that make it easier. 5 kilometers is not easy to walk on your own. You're gonna just give up halfway and call an Uber to go back home, right? um so doing it with community must be such an incredible feeling. I absolutely love that. I think this month is going to be at a different location, right?
Yes, so we've been trying to switch it up a bit. A lot of people are scared of dogs. So if you are scared of dogs this month, you should definitely come along because there are no dogs. And this month we are doing two strolls, one in Joburg and one in Cape Town. So the one in Joburg will be at Modderfontein Nature Reserve, and the Cape Town one will be at the Sea Point Farm. All information will be posted though in the coming week on our Instagram, so everyone will be able to sign up then.
Inshallah. We will continue our conversation in just a bit. We're going to go for a little break, and then we will continue all things Salwa.
Penny Appeal's Education First campaign helps children to get access to quality education.
I'm 14 years old. When I grow up, I'd like to be a scientist.
We believe every child belongs at school,
And we want education, a better education.
learning and dreaming their way to a better future. With your help, we can provide classrooms, desks, stationery packs, and school shoes. Help make these dreams a reality. Visit www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Dad, these Frymax chips are so tasty.
Wow, that really takes me back. My dad bought me a Frymax chips every day after school. They were my favorite when I was your age as well. Quality is at the very heart of what we do, and that's why we ensure that every Frymax packet is filled with the beautiful goodness and flavor-packed taste that you've come to expect from us since 1982. Frymax, from generation to generation.
You South African, of course. You anxious about the future. We've got you covered. Build on your wealth portfolio with Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange. Visit us at 151 Stephen Dlamini Road, Musgrave, Durban, or call us on 031 202 4700 for more information. Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
Valley's Motor Spares. We supply motor spares and accessories for all makes and models of motor cars, LDVs, bakkies, trucks, and earth-moving equipment. We deliver on time, every time. Please contact us via WhatsApp on 014-592-0925 or call 014-592-0925 or visit 28 Zenderling Street, Rustenburg. Remember the name, Valley's Motor Spares.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
All right, we are back. The time is now 12:19 p.m. and we are in conversation with Yasmeen from Salwa Collective. We've been talking about all things Salwa, where it came from, the beginning, the meaning behind it, the name, etc. And now I do every interview is like this. We have a good chat and then we realize I have to speed run through all the other questions because I was having such a good time. My question to you is, how do you keep coming up with fresh and creative event ideas every month?
Honestly, I think it comes from listening to the women in our community. And a lot of it is from the feedback that they give us and what they'd like to do as well. So it is inspired by real conversation, by feedback, and the people who attend our event. I also do want to say that I fully believe that creativity comes from collaboration. And my incredible co-host and team often come together and we put these ideas together in order to make our events as fun, meaningful, and accessible as possible. So yeah, I would say it is a collective effort. If you get the joke.
No, I get the joke. It took me a second and I was like, oh wait, no, I get it. It took me too long actually. But so to the entire Salwa team and to everyone that comes to these events and gives these ideas, a big thank you from myself and from Salam Media, because if it wasn't with you guys, we wouldn't be having these amazing events every month with Salwa. I want to ask you as well. So Salwa Collective has grown from Johannesburg to Cape Town. How did that expansion even happen?
This is such a crazy story, but the expansion from Joburg to Cape Town actually happened in the weirdest way, and I would want to say overnight in a way. A few weeks back, on a random Sunday evening, I was posting a reel on our Instagram. I finally got around to editing it, and I decided to post it. And it went absolutely viral, which I never ever expected. We had over 50,000 people see that reel. And I think we gained like 1,000 followers in one night, which was insane.
Wow.
It was absolutely crazy. And at that point, so many people reached out to us and we saw what a need there was. They kept on asking us to bring Salwa to their city. And it was always my goal to expand, but not as fast as it did happen. Shortly after that, I did do some research and put together a team of amazing girls in Cape Town, and we just launched this weekend. And we were received so well by the Cape Town community. So I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, I'm so grateful for my team as well.
Absolutely love it. And the fact that you're able to do it all the way from Johannesburg and it's a whole thing that's running in Cape Town is really impressive. And I think the one day, like, I just saw on my phone and I'm like, I'm being added to groups and to communities and stuff. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I was like, okay, there's a Salwa Cape Town as well. And I thought that was so amazing because it's something that's grown so much that it's in other cities as well. And then I saw there's a whole team in Cape Town. I said, now, how did Yasmeen do this? But I absolutely love it. And again, I applaud you for that. Let's look at impact and experiences. Have you seen any genuine friendships through Salwa? And are there any sweet stories that you can share about that?
I'd love to share this story with you. So I'm not sure how many people know this, but I currently don't run the SOA Joburg events in person, as I am abroad for a while. But anyway, long story short, at our second event, which was a pottery painting event, and it's actually one of my favorite events, and not because of the pottery, but because of the person that I met at this event. And I met my best friend Khadija at this event. I hope she's listening. And if anyone
Oh,
to our Joburg events, she's actually my co-host and the lead host in Joburg, and she keeps Solar running on the ground. She really is everything that Soul embodies, and it would not be what it is without her. So that is honestly my favorite sweet story because we are proof. I think our team itself is proof that Soul does work, and you can meet your future best friend at our events.
I love this. Such a sweet story. You took sweet story seriously and told us a very sweet story. So we really do hope that you're watching, girl,
I know.
because they're talking about you. And I love this. And I love that you were able to find in Salwa the faces of Salwa, you know. I think it's such a big thing because you understand exactly what I'm looking for without me even saying it because you came and you saw it for yourself before we could even start. It's not a thing now where you have to start explaining and explaining. She's your brains in South Africa right now.
Yes.
So Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Next, what's been the most surprising feedback or memorable moment from an attendee?
We have so much of positive feedback from the girls at our events, and I think a lot of them are so grateful and receive it so well. However, I think moments that really stick out to me are when people who maybe are necessarily a bit more quiet or introverted come to our events, and they come so scared but so brave and with the most open hearts. And I think that is the most like touching thing. Them putting themselves out of their comfort zones and doing something like this for themselves. I think I will always be so grateful for these girls for coming.
I love this. So, girls, you're better be listening. Like, honestly, you're better be listening because they're speaking so nicely about your guys. So,
Yeah, definitely.
and I love that. You know, this shows again that Salwa is for anyone and everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, how you are, you know, it doesn't matter. You can come and you will find your people. Even if you don't find your people, you find yourself, you know, at Salwa. So, you know, man, you guys are doing well there. You guys are doing really, really well, mashallah.
Thank you.
This one ties more to everything that's going on in South Africa right now. We know that being a woman in South Africa right now is very, very hard. And how do you guys make sure every event feels safe, warm, and inclusive for all women?
I think that is one of the most important things for us. And when we started this, our aim with Soul was to undo the divisions that culture and nationalism and colorism especially have created, and to break down these barriers and remind these girls that, especially us as Muslim women, we are all equal and we are not in opposition with each other as we are made to seem. And I think, you know what? It is our incredible team and volunteers who live these values and who make everyone feel so warm and welcome at our events.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you know, it's Women's Month. We speak about women, all things women, and being like I said, you know, in the beginning, that being a woman in South Africa is very hard right now. You know, it's scary. You know, being a woman in the world right now is scary. We look at the women in Palestine. Being a woman in Palestine is it's hard. You know, it's insufferable. Something that we'll never be able to understand. And you know, when we have this sort of community here in South Africa and we do this, and I just spoke to ladies that are doing a Women's Month fundraiser for Palestine, and I felt like that was so, it was something that we needed, man. It was something that we need because we use us having this sisterhood and this friendship to help people all around the world. You know, now you've moved into Cape Town. So from Johannesburg to Cape Town, you're bringing women together. And inshallah, we make dua that it goes bigger and bigger and it goes from country to country with you, you know? And we look at what we have, or what you have rather, here with Salwa, and look at the women in Palestine again. And in their own way, they have so much of unity, something that we'll never be able to understand, you know? You spoke about us struggling with things like colorism and things like that within this Muslim woman community. Everyone's trying to make it, and they've done it with such grace and such femininity that I don't think we'll ever be able to understand. So as much as we talk about all of these things, we always try to bring them in, because at the end of the day, we are not free if the Palestinians are not free, and even if it's by one Salwa event, we make dua that inshallah Palestine will be free. Now we're going to be coming towards the end. We've only got a couple minutes left of this interview, so I want to ask you one last question. What's next for Salwa? Are there any exciting events or dreams that we should be watching for?
Alhamdulillah, I think SOA has grown in ways that I never imagined possible, and we are continuing to grow. This is actually the first time I'm saying this or putting this anywhere, but inshallah, in September, we'll be launching in a new city.
Okay, girl!
In Pretoria, which I know the Joburg girls will say is really close, but the Pretoria girls don't think so. So we will be launching in Pretoria with a team there. So we will be having new solo events happening monthly in Pretoria as well.
Absolutely love that. So the big fat news comes out today on SOA Media, and I think it was special because I got to hear it. So Pretoria girls, look out for SOA Collective. And with that, we have come to the end of our conversation. Wasn't it as scary as it seemed, right? It was nice. I was
nervous, but yes, definitely.
I had so much fun. I really, really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me today, for joining me on SOA Media, and to all the viewers, the listeners, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. We will go for a short break, and we will be back with our last and final guest. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.